What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Mika Says Sukasa, and I am your host, Niko House, and we are back on the road. I am on the way up north to Central Florida for a business trip, and so I won't be able to report as much as I would like to this weekend, so I'm trying to knock as much reporting out now as I can. So we just got some interesting news. I hate when I call something news in this scenario. I don't mean it's news as in we just found this out. I mean it's news that the mainstream media and anybody in elected office or a political official would admit to it. Mr. Mattis, what do they call him? Mad Dog Mattis, came out and said that Syria, well, we don't have any proof that Syria has used chemical weapons against its own people. We know, right? And a lot of us viscerally would assume that this is a good thing, that maybe the world is finally coming to its senses, because we just, Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State, announced that that we are going into Syria indefinitely. So maybe this is a good thing, right? No, it's not. Because the important thing is what he says next, which is why everybody should be freaked the hell out. He said, we have no evidence whatsoever. However, we're going to find evidence. Remember last time we didn't have evidence of something? Because once again, we're literally using the exact same formula as Iraq. Last time we didn't have evidence of something. Like we think they have weapons of mass destruction. We're gonna go hunt for those weapons that we don't have any current evidence of. We're just going off of hearsay, because Mattis admitted it. He said this is just hearsay. And we go there, ravage the entire nation, only to never find a damn thing, and indefinitely place troops there. The establishment has gotten lazy. It's almost, because the Democrats, they have a different approach, right? The Democrats, they pretend like something isn't happening. So Obama used to pretend like we didn't have troops in Syria. He tried to pretend like we weren't escalating. Hillary tried to pretend like we weren't funding the terrorists. Luckily, her emails clarify that. So the left likes to distract from these bigger issues, whereas the right acts in a different. They play to or sing to a different tune. They're like, oh, we have to do this, and it's for your protection, right? War on terror. You can't win a war on an idea. Like the idea that war on terror is like, what the fuck? Fighting the war is like goal setting, right? It needs to be clear. It needs to have a timetable. It needs to be reasonable. Fighting a war on terror is none of those things. So, but remember, the establishment right, specifically, they're ideologues, and they play on the idealism of the right. Oh, as long as we're fighting for our freedom, then it's cool. You can send us wherever the hell you want to go. A lot of the right has woken up to this, but the people who still buy into the establishment politics, which there are many, have not woken up to this yet. So essentially, what Mad Dog Mattis has told us, he just wrote himself in the United States government and Donald Trump and Henry Kissinger. Oh yeah, because he met with Henry Kissinger, and then this comes out. Huge coincidence. Oh yeah, and we're supposed to be invading North Korea right after the Olympics are over. That information just got leaked this morning as well. So understand, people. I said it last night. I said it on past videos. I said it the first time Donald Trump met with Henry Kissinger, and foreign affairs and the violence overseas involving the United States escalated. Henry Kissinger he's not the angel of death. Henry Kissinger is death. Henry Kissinger brings death wherever he walks. Once he touches your campaign, he will bring death in ways that as far as people in the United States are concerned, because we're in a bubble, will bring death in ways that you don't even have any idea how it's supposed to help anybody, because it was never supposed to help anybody. It's supposed to help a couple people. Trump is not your friend anymore, people. He has to come to the deep state. This nonsense with him bickering back and forth with the Hillary Clinton people, that's not necessarily the deep state. That's partially the link to the deep state, but don't confuse that or conflate that with the real deep state. The deep state uses Hillary Clinton. Yes, the people who protect her, some of them are part of the deep state, but the deep state itself has, once again, I'm hypervigilant only because I'm a journalist, but the deep state has, in large part, stopped protecting her. We wouldn't hear about these FBI informants coming out. We wouldn't even hear about what's going on with James Comey. We wouldn't have even known about the investigation into the Clinton Foundation through the Little Rock FBI. We wouldn't have heard about that, nor would we have heard that the FBI has come out publicly and said, well, people at the top of the DOJ and top members of the FBI, senior members of the FBI, are trying to stop this investigation and have obstructed it. We wouldn't have known that if the deep state and the establishment were still, unquestionably on Hillary Clinton's side. You have to know, once again, when you got to know when to pivot. This is why it's important that no matter who you like as a politician, or even as a person, you base your opinion off of the actions of that person, people. Actions, intention, patterns. In the patterns of actions and intentions. For real. Actions, intentions, and the pattern of each of those. Trump does not have the best pattern of action. Right? He's suspect. At the very minimum, if you want to say he's not guilty of some things, it could be made to look like he is guilty enough that it could destroy the legacy of his family going forward. That is actually something that he's very concerned with, because he does have a dynastic legacy. Plus, he got other kids overseas too. He probably got kids that we don't even know about. He got to take care of. So, I'm just saying, you want to, if you're a Trump supporter, be cognizant of the fact that when you have baggage, it can be used against you at any time. Doesn't matter if it's with Syria. Doesn't matter if it's with Iraq, or Afghanistan, Iran, North Korea, right? It could be anybody, anywhere, anytime. When they pull your card, you're going to answer. And we are about to see it again. We're already seeing it right now in Syria, but it's about to get worse. It's about to escalate, and more of my brothers and sisters in arms are going to die. More of my brothers and sisters in arms are going to die. My siblings are going to be, my blood siblings are going to be put in harm's way. Your siblings, I know that some of you have family members in the military, are going to be put in harm's way. Again. For whose war? For whose money? For whose freedom? And at the expense of how many innocent lives? I'd like to know your thoughts about this, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe if you have not yet. And make sure you check on those subscriptions if you are subscribed, because we be getting hit with the throttle backs. I just had to resubscribe to Jimmy Dore's channel, actually. And I had to resubscribe to Tim Black's channel the other day. Right? I know, it sucks. But we have to remain vigilant. We have to remain positive. But more than anything, you got to find your balance, right? Peace.